Hello, how are you guys? All right, well-laid plans is one thing, and execution when I don't put all of my stamps away is a whole nother thing. How are you? It is a beautiful sunny day. I've just come from the golf course, and I kind of wanting to work with one of the new sets, but I'm not sure where it is. So I have no announcements because that's who I am. Not teasing you. It's yeah, there it is. My little shiny face. Okay, hi. I'm Lori LaRose. I have Active Stamping here on Facebook as well as on YouTube now. I think I used to say on Instagram, and I haven't done a reel for a while. So instead, I will say I did do a reel, but I don't think I finished. I don't think I finished editing it. Maybe I better go do that. Anyways, yeah. So I'm on YouTube. The Facebook only holds the videos for so long, so I am posting them over to the YouTube, and they have hashtags, so I think it's far more searchable than right here, so that's sort of cool. So yeah, take a peek, subscribe, and then you'll get notified when these things go live. Hi Keisha, how you doing, hun? Hello Miss Jane, how are you? I haven't seen you in a while. Okay, so I'm going to make a little card. Yesterday was fast and fabulous. Today is also going to be kind of fast in my mind. So mostly I really wing it. People have Wing It Wednesdays. I have Wing It Life. And I am sort of 90%. I've got all the little pieces just laying there. So I don't know how it's going to come together totally, but let's see. And we'll go from there. But I do need to find my little set. Good, good. I'm glad to hear you're doing well, Missy Lou. Having a good summer, as they'd say. Don't look at my big mess. Such a mess. I gotta hide that part or else you'll know what I'm doing before I even get started. Good gracious. Hang on a second. I feel like, hang on, I'm sorry. So I had a great conversation. Oh, this is better. Sorry about that. Sorry. I don't know. I had a nice, what's that called? Like a FaceTime kind of thing with a girlfriend from Australia yesterday. So we could do the sailboat for the Australia Open, except if we throw the Canadian flag in there, haha, the Canadian maple leaf. It's a Canadian deal. Just teasing. Okay, that was just down for I don't know what reason. Yesterday's fast and fabulous card, not quite glued down, but 90% there. And I added a little bling. Can you see that? I don't know. I put a little bit of it. I don't know why I didn't think of it. Winkastella. Why would you not put Winkastella on the wings of a butterfly? And then you do need to get the sailboat set. I love it. And I do love, oh no, I thought it's not even that. I was going to say, I do love because sometimes I wonder whether or not we need to get the embossing folder and stuff. But the embossing folder, 90% sure, maybe it doesn't. If the embossing folder comes separate, back and forth on that. For the cost of it, it's probably worth it, especially as a bundle. But yeah, so I grabbed this actually so that you could have that that way. But the dies, I do love the dies because then you get the different sizes of the boats, and it's kind of quite nice, right? So I do like the little boats. They're different size from the stamps. All right, so today, I don't know, somebody said this might be live and real. So it's a kind of a fun one. And if you are ever selling or doing stuff with cards, it's a good idea to have that. So now I'm trying to think, it's the tulips that I'm kind of looking for. And I'm sort of sad. There's the sunrise sailing like she's looking for. Oh, you know, I could do that set. That might work. Fancy borders, nothing better than terrific toadstools. Kindness, weekend. And cheers and sips, my one favorite. But no flowers. What did I do with those guys? Huh. So I have yet to still organize this back shelf of mine. I'm sorry for that. I could do Enduring Beauty. Then I may as well do the flowers. Oh my goodness sakes. This is going to be cute. Okay. What would this look like? So, this is an old one, but I like it. Oh, you don't need to see my tape, I don't think. All right. Put this down and that up. And all right, I'm going to do a simple layout. Maybe in this case, I'll start with the layout so that I introduce the paper that I'm doing, and then we can see whether or not this will look good with the paper. So there's 2 ways to skin a cat in this game. So what does your launch? Where do you start from a card? Do you do it? Okay, right off the bat, I'm going to think that you think masculine or feminine, birthday or sympathy, those kinds of things. Then what do you go next? Do you go by a color? Do you know, like, because you're personalizing it, you know there's a stamp set you're going to want. If it's going to go to flowers, though, because we have like 462 miles of flowers, then how do you choose from there? Do you go with, okay, I need geometrics, so certain flowers look better with geometrics and some flowers don't look good at all with geometrics? Or do you just know that the favorite flower of your best friend is a zinnia, so then of course it's that? I don't know. All right, simple layout with a mat. So this is cloud cover, and then I'm going to add in that, ooh, what is it called? Something C. Secret Sea. I was going to say like seascape. Hi, Alexina. How are you doing, hon? And yeah, so talking away, we were just texting for a few minutes, and then all of a sudden she FaceTimed me, and we got talking and talking, and then it was 2 in the morning. And I was like, I better go to bed. All right, this is a beautiful, I should find out the name of it. This is really pretty paper. I really liked it. We did it as a paper share. Florals in Bloom. I met her on the Norwegian incentive trip that I'd earned, and then we got to run into them again totally on the Orlando one that I just came from, and it was super fun. So I really love her and her husband, and then got to meet her boy this time too, so that was nice. So we were talking business basically. So Forever Florals, is that what I said this was? So I'm kind of sad because the layout is covering this up, and I'm like, boo hoo hoo. So I've been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for 23 years, and I have to tell you that I was really, really bad. I would teach backgrounds all the time because we had a fair amount of DSP, but it wasn't as pretty as now, basically. And so we did tons of stuff with backgrounds, with inks and backgrounds. We didn't have the embossing folders, so we didn't have that. And I would do a background, and then I was really remiss to actually want to cover it up. I have a tough time when I make something pretty. So I'm having a tough time because I quite like those flowers. But anyways, okay, so this is a 5 1/4 by 4 piece of Secret Sea. Then the paper, I've done a full 1/4 inch less, so it's 5 by 3 3/4. This little guy is the 3 3/4 by 2 1/4. I thought would be nice. And now I'm bringing in a circle that is not current. It's that funny little edge. It was just cut up over there. So I was just going to bring that in so that it would be there. So now my question is, do I have? Yes, I do. I could bring in, I'm going to need to change the color. Would these roses work, or do I really need to still try and find those tulips? And if you're maybe not sure which tulips I'm talking about, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm surprised. So Friday nights, if we can't find, this is a bundle. So hold on just one second. If I lose stuff, you guys play drinking games with me because it's cocktails and cards, and then people are like taking advantage of that situation. Oh, I am totally wrong. Okay, so there is. Oops, sorry. Oops. Okay, there is 2 different florals in here. That is the one. Okay, so Florals in Bloom. I don't know where I said Forever Florals or whatever I said. But Memories in Bloom, which I do not own. Which surprises me. I kind of like that one. Mothers are a blessing. You are a gift. On this day, that's a nice Stampin' Up one. No, it's not Stampin' Up. Scrapbooking one. Oh, over on my page, you'll have to scroll up or back or whatever after. But I posted somebody had a really funny one about scrapbookers in there. All right, let me see if I can find the set that I think, and you guys can be like, yes, look for it. You silly goose, where is it? Hang on a second. Here, hang on. Florals in Bloom. And I want, not those ones. All right, you know what? I bet you anything it's a, the one that I'm looking for is an online. Sorry, I did think it was part of this one because it's the tulips and it is an online one. All right, what do you think? Can I get away with this? Can I do the zinnias? I think the zinnias would be better than the roses. I'm going to do the zinnias. I know that they're old, but you've seen me make a couple cards with this guy. And also, here's this one in a different color and almost. So watch, I think this was maybe Thursday mornings. I don't know which day this was. Maybe Tuesday night last week. I gave the measurements of that fun little card. It's disheveled, but it's still good. Okay, so Simply Zinnia is old, but I think I'm excited. Oh, that's bad. This was on my shelf and it's missing a stamp. That is not usual for me. That's part of the reason that my desk is cluttered with a whole bunch of stamp cases, is because they are not complete, and because there's like stamps on sets all over the place. And I don't usually put a case away until it has it's complete. And that is how I know that I'm good. Okay. I did put my black ink away last night. So I do Duolingo. And I thought, I'm not really working hard at Duolingo this week. So I was like, I'll put my stamps away while I'm talking away to Duolingo. So I'm going to be cutting this one out. To be really honest, at this point in my life, I cannot remember if I have the zinnia dies. They're not, I don't remember what they look like. I feel like I maybe didn't choose to get them. They're not in there. I feel like just another spoke in a great big wheel. So kind of funny, I'm driving home from the golf course and I've been singing Breakfast at Tiffany's all day. And I stop, so I live rurally. I live from Rocky Mountain House, Alberta, and I live on a bison farm, and I live out of town, right? Obviously, because it's hard to have bison in a city, in a cul-de-sac. Can you imagine? I'll just turn at the left, and there's those. I think actually some places in the States have really interesting zoning laws, and there's horses sometimes as your neighbor and stuff like that. Yesterday, there was a whole story about the black ink. I didn't actually check up on it, but between Keisha and Anne, it sounded like the black memento ink, which is what you sort of need for this. You might, so she doesn't have, but the rest of you, if you already still have the memento black ink with the pad that you had, you can totally use your other refill. Do you know what I mean? You don't need a new refill. You just need to have a blank page of this. And then I should try and find out what days I did the white ink refill cards. So I'm just leaving that. So it looked like I was really pressing, and I kind of was, but wasn't really. It's like there's really thin, it's a detailed, it's lots of thin lines, but there's quite a few of them. And so there was a little bit of pressure, but mostly I just letting that black ink sit in there for 5 seconds. And look at that, it's stunning. I love this one. I just looked at it there. Doesn't that look fun? It looks like it's like little stars. I love this. I have not worked with this set nearly enough. And of course it's gone, I'm 92% sure. But I do not remember what the dies look like. I have a vague thought. Okay, what color do you think this is? Is it Petunia Pop? It feels like a really, oh, okay. The answer to that is, my friends, is blowing in the wind. Who's my age and knows that song? Holy mackerel. On the back of your packages of paper, it will tell you what colors are on there. So it's not Bubble Bath, I don't think. Cloud Cover, perfect, because I'm using Cloud Cover. Darling Duckling, Granny Garden Green, blah, blah, blah. Shy Shamrock. Strawberry Slush. Oh, I wouldn't have thought that. Oh, it is Petunia. Maybe it is Petunia Pop. I feel like that's Bubble Bath. Petunia Pop. Jeez. Is that Strawberry Slush? I mean, it's a light version of it. This is kind of between Bubble Bath and Pretty in Pink. I don't know which color I used there, actually. I can't remember. This is Pretty in Pink. That's not Pretty in Pink. This looks almost like the mauve that we used to have. Okay, full disclosure though, I don't think I have Strawberry Slush yet in ink. So one thing that you can do if you're not convinced that you want a color, we have little tiny blank, you have to buy 5 of them, but we have blank little, these guys, and if you're not sure that you want a full of them, last year I didn't know about Pebbled Path. So I just re-inked one of these little guys and I wrote on the back that it was Pebbled Path. So I might need to grab a Strawberry Slush refill. I need to look in my stuff. Strawberry Slush is a comeback. So I'm going to do Petunia Pop. I'm not going to go with that. I'll go with my Petunia Pop because I have my blend of that. And then it had all sorts of greens. So I will grab those. I love this color. That must be like the summer shade, hey? Whatever that's called, summer something. So I start with a dark color, dark Petunia Pop. And I will add some dark, wherever they're sort of shading. I consider it cheating, but really I just think it's clever to use the artists, what they've worked with, and the blends work well within that range kind of thing. What I keep trying to tell you is I believe that the dies for this set were kind of standalone-ish. Like they probably cut out this shape, but I think they also, like the marigolds and stuff, like I think they built on themselves quite nicely. And I didn't need that per se, so I left it. I just sold a poppy set to somebody. And as I was looking at stuff, I don't know what struck me because she was not asking for any dies. There was a lot of neat shapes within the dies, like sentiment shapes, do you know what I mean? But there was definitely the cutout. I think there was about 5 little cutouts for the stamp set. And I was like, I'm just going to throw that in there as a gift and hope that she would be really surprised when she received it and thrilled. Because who wouldn't be thrilled with the dot? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you could have your druthers whether or not you actually want to use it. So long as she had a cut and emboss machine. But it was kind of interesting, honestly. She didn't actually, like, as a sender, you're always like, did you get it? Did you get it? Did you get it fast? Did you get it slow? Did you get it? And then B, I sent her like a whole, probably like $25 value practically. Not to me, though. I have to say, the die cutouts are not what are the most valuable in our Stampin' Up! Sets. It's absolutely the extra. So I love the hamburger cutout, say, but it's the French fries and the knife. Oh my gosh, the knife and the cutting board that make that die set to me. And of course, those are I kept those pieces. I didn't have the stamp. I didn't have the shape. So I gave her the pieces of that. But anyways, yeah, so I touched base with her and I just said, oh, hey, when you're looking at the set, I included the dies. I'd found them. Did you even know that they had dies, kind of? Do you have a cut and emboss machine? Yep, thanks. I was like, okay. So I went to the mailbox today myself, and I got a beautiful card, a half birthday card. It's a little belated half birthday card from Connie. So thank you very much, Miss Connie. I will actually, the set, ironically, okay, so I don't know if I finished the story. I've been singing Breakfast at Tiffany's all day, came back into the car from getting the mail. Oh yeah, that's my whole story comes back full circle. Live out of town, and so I have to stop. My mailbox is like a mile away from my house kind of thing, right? And so I just catch it when I'm going to and from town or to and from the golf course or whatever, like that. And I don't usually ever make a trip just over there, and I think I've been kind of hermiting around the house here, the farm. So anyways, stopped by, got some cards, yahoo, get back into the car, and Breakfast at Tiffany's playing. What? And I'm listening to it, and I look, because I'm like, that's so weird. And I happen to glance over. Well, it says it's Fleetwood Mac, Going Your Own Way. And I'm thinking, wow. Because they haven't said Breakfast at Tiffany yet. There's just that, part of music where, and I was like, wow, that sounds so familiar. Well, that's crazy. I would have never thought. I'd totally lose a whole bunch of things going through my head, including I would totally lose Battle of the Bands or something or like a trivia game if I only heard 3 seconds of this. I would totally say this is Breakfast at Tiffany. It sounds so much like Breakfast at Tiffany's. And then all of a sudden it's actually singing Breakfast at Tiffany's. And I'm thinking, what the heck? And then about that, as I'm really questioning my computer's AI, my phone, you know what I'm trying to say, my radio channel, it finally changes, and it changes to Breakfast at Tiffany, Indeed, by Deep Blue, I think it is. And then the Powder Blues Band came on right after that. Can you tell I don't listen to music a lot? Because it's very in my mind when I do. So I was just whacking the ball out at the golf course today. I have to make up all sorts of stories right now because I am coloring like a fiend. I have to say, for this little tiny bit of flower. So my other question is, if you have these flowers, like I'm coloring every little petal, do you just color right over top of the black, or do you color every little petal? I mean, I'm not having to be really careful. And then the irony is I'm just adding in extra color when I want to. But that took a long time because of that. Okay, now I have not researched zinnias greatly. I'm not positive that they're not yellow or orangish or something. I happen to have Cajun Craze. I'm going to put a Cajun Craze in here. I don't know. Is that Peekaboo Peach? Where'd my paper go? Oh, I lost my paper. This is why it's fun to drink with me. And it's summertime, so you can do it anytime. Pecan. Peach pie. That would be peach pie. I'm just going to throw a little tiny bit of Cajun, soft Cajun in here, because I think it'll be kind of fun. It's a kind of a similar, it's not a similar color, with all the black. Oh, and you know what? I did color in the stars. Oh no, they're coming in with it. Some of the stars got colored purple, and that's okay. Peekaboo Peach. All right, that's kind of pretty, hey? Whoop, whoop. Okay, now some green. And I have choices here. I am going to use, so there's Shy Shamrock, and this is Shy Shamrock. I don't think I'm going to do that one. Granny Apple Green, of course. This is Granny Apple Green. That's enough said. I love Granny Apple Green, my favorite color. Granny Apple Green's not in here, maybe. Yeah, it is. Granny Apple Green. And one Granny Apple Green. Okay, how many stories did I not finish telling? Zinnias have lots of different colors, from pinks to reds to oranges to yellows. Thanks, Betty. Yeah, the actual flowers, but it's combinations. I'm wondering, do they usually have the same color center? Do they all have? Is that one feature of them? Do they all have the same? Okay, so again, I start with the dark. It took a long time to color, didn't it? It feels like it took a really long time. Are you out visiting, Betty? Are you out visiting Girlio? I think Betty is out far away from home visiting her youngest daughter. Having a lovely time, I'm suspecting. Hello! I won't say other names, but hello, daughter. I love her. All right. All right, that needs a little bit. So I just pretend like I know what I'm doing, but it all works out beautifully with these guys. Ooh, that squeaky means put this on your shopping list, Lori. Woo-wee. Yikes. Let's see if, and I think, oh, this one's maybe okay. It makes me a little bit sad. This end is not great to work with, so I will fill in this big areas because that'll be a good idea. There seems to be a lot of, I'll say, ink on this side, but it's a very soft brush, like it's a little tiny bit not quite good brush, if that makes sense. And ooh, because of that and me trying to rush, I do prefer to use the little end, but it just seems like, why isn't it? Is there two chambers in here? Why is it that going on like that? Holy cow. Which is why I have a few extras. Like the daffodils, the light daffodil was definitely squeaking. So I had to buy another one. But the other end of the light daffodil was fine. So it's like, ugh. All right, so now you get the joy of watching me cut. Great, you're all thinking, hoorah. Get a lesson in cutting. That is stunning though, hey? Ooh, it's gonna be pretty, 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 pretty. All right, so I use the paper to hold the scissors still. Because there's zinnias and their petals, I'm just pretending to move them back and forth. It gives a little bit of texture. I'm not sure how much difference it makes because of the busy background that it's going to go on. I won't have to worry too much about maybe the leafy area because it's going to have the white background there. Pretty sure I need to have the white for the stuff to stand out. Coming in here, meet little areas, come around here. Anyway, so yes, the holidays are going well. The summer holidays, that is like tight. I just finished saying I could leave some white and I went right against the line. Okay, so I do cards with kids at school when school was in, and we give them to the seniors in town. It's super rewarding. It is like one of my funnest projects that I started a couple, 3 years ago. Caring cards, I call it, and they write lovely little articles to the seniors, and they're so compassionate, these little kids. But I do say to them, it's actually easier if you leave a little border, because then of course it doesn't matter. The border is just the border. So in this case, I probably should have cut it cleaner, but it's white, so it's not the end of the world if it's not cut exactly right. Whereas if I was trying to cut on the black line, golly gee, you're on the inside of the black line, you're on the outside of the black line, ay, 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 ay. And quite a few of the kids were like, oh, that's a brilliant idea. That's so nice. I had one quite good little color one day, and she's like, oh, I love your blending. My silly little personality, I make different cards for every class to work with. So then it was like coffee cup that day, blue coffee cup the next day. That piece, I don't know why that's doing that. Didn't want to cut out there. Ugh, there. Right, and then in here. So it's a good idea. I get businesses in town. Again, I'm a small town girl, and bless a whole bunch of businesses that contribute to purchasing paper for me so that I can afford nicely to do this job of mine. It was nice. Oh, my husband is home. He was out golfing, and we're in the midst of just about starting to hay, but the weather's not really cooperating. It poured all day yesterday. If you watched my live yesterday, you'll have heard me. I wasn't complaining as a farmer. I just was like, I wasn't even complaining. I kind of like rainy days. Rainy days and Mondays always get me down. I love the Carpenters. All right. Oh, what's this? Half cut out. Oh, yeah. Where is that? Why isn't that falling out? Come on. Oh, for goodness sakes. Often the dies don't cut as sharp. I think the dies would probably leave that in there, Evan. So I could be finished cutting anytime, you guys are saying, right? I don't know why I'm a little obsessed with this today. I will leave that in there for right now. Like I said, I think I totally can anyways because of this. That being said, I am going to do this. And go from there. Okay. Yay. Get that out of there because it looks weird. I might be able to pull this lovely in here from this just because it's just sitting here perfect. That might be perfect. Okay. So again, a card base, 5.5 by 8.5, folded in half, scored in half at 4 1/4. Used a mat of Secret Sea 4 by 5 1/4, and then a piece of the paper, 3 3/4 by 5. This little piece here is the back side of it, actually, of the flower of this paper. And it worked this time, but if it didn't, I would have gone and found something. 3 3/4 by 2 1/4, and then just an old circle. And I think that'll be quite nice. And then this purple. So the purple works. I might put the purple over here so that we see more of this purple, and that this is going that way. For myself, I would prefer it to be over here because then this leads to that side. But that being said, like this guy, I end up kind of putting him like that, so things are leaning towards that side, but really I can totally put it like this. Is the way that this is probably supposed to be. But yeah, because of the color. So I might come back in with a different color for the zinnia. I can't believe that strawberry slush, but anyways. And then have the little words, the lovely. Now, shy of the lovely, I could also have these same words that I had here. And I feel like although this is a color that's in here, because it's not been used yet, to me, I would not have it this color. And that's what this is, a little tiny bit, not quite the right color. I might bring it in Bubble Bath, actually. I think I would, Bubble Bath, I think that is what it's called. But words are nice too. I'm not loving that. I might put this dead center. That maybe feels better for me. I feel like to make this actually work, these colors work, I feel like I really need to make sure that I see that color, because otherwise it's like, what are you doing? Why did you use that color? So I love lovely. I love the idea of this word's lovely, but I just don't like the color for this particular card. And can you see lovely? It seems like it's a little garbly, hey? So this lovely worked nice on the other card, but not on this one. Do I have another thing? What's in the set? Where is my zinnias? Ooh. Words fail to express my gratitude. Sorry, I'm way up there. Thank you so much is nice. Sending flowers and thinking of you would be a lot like this guy. So words fail to express my gratitude. Thank you so much. I'm going to use this. Oh, and you know what? Thank you so much. I probably now know why that's out, because it's a good one. That one's the gone one for sure. Look at those cute little things there. All right, that's not going to work. There is a bold words. What's this one say? This one has a happy birthday. A thanks for being you. Oh, I like this. Can't wait to see you again. And you know, I love that so much that it's out too. I think it might be here though. Yes, it is. Wahoo. So I think I'm going to pull in the same petunia. We'll stamp that up and then we'll be done. Card finished. So a fairly quick little card. I'm just going to stamp this once somewhere because I don't know what color it really was. Does it fit on there? Hey, get out of there, UK. I don't know where you are for me. I'm just looking to see, working with a scrap and seeing how it goes. So this one, I'm trying hard not to push really hard, because otherwise all the rubber goes, ee! You squished me too hard. No, see, I squished him too hard. Do you see how it's like totally fat? Because I was like squishing him like crazy. He just a little stamp. Don't squish him so hard, he's saying. I'm just little. I don't need to get squished. So now I'm just touching it to it. Much better. Oh my gosh, it's still really solid. So that's a good juicy ink pad is that challenge there, because I totally didn't push that one too much. I am not taking blame for that. All right. Now, because of the way this is, I'm going to make it a little arrow, which is not my favorite look, but it is today. All right. Can't wait to see you soon. Nice. And then I need to leave this down. Maybe put that up. Nice. Can't wait to see you. And then some little gems would be lovely. And now this one, I can definitely use some of these to pull in the cloud. So over on Creativity for Everyone, if you guys are making a fast and simple card like this little guy, the Fast and Fabulous, post your examples over there, hey? I'm going to add in this guy here, oopsie, and here, and then I think I'll do one right there. Cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there it is. What is this called again? This paper? Ugh. I think it's fabulous, isn't it? Florals in Bloom. The Florals in Bloom paper. A neat little easy layout for you to work with for the rest of the week kind of thing. And I think I will see you Friday night for cocktails and cards again, you guys. I'll let you go. Thanks for hanging out with me. If you have any questions or wondering about things, give me a shout and I can help you with ideas or such, and we'll go from there. I will talk with you later, Gators. Have a great summer weathers. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Enjoy the week. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.